Alright everyone, welcome back. It is Saturday the 14th of September 2024. Out here in the oubliette. About 8:30 in the morning. Been out here for about an hour. Thereabouts, trying to catch up on where I was at, what I was doing. Certainly not what I was thinking, because my memories are gone. We decided to go ahead and pull all the caps that we're going to replace, including Toto 2. And we had these identified from a previous session. 26, 24, 23 down there, 21, 22, 19, and up here on the volume control we got 18. I don't believe there's any other ones in there. These over here I haven't identified yet. In one of the previous sessions prior to my surgery, was trying to find these things and how they're connected on there. It just doesn't seem to jive with this particular schematic, but we're going to figure that out before we replace them, because you notice I haven't got any numbers on these, so I hadn't figured out where these were in the circuit here. They're up in here somewhere, because this is the K8 socket, K7, K Sera, so they're up in here, and then the rest, I think there's one on the oscillator coil. So, at best, there will be probably 4 more caps that I need to identify and get replaced. So, we're going to start with these, get those in, and then we're going to go in there and verify the resistors and stuff. So, let me get started. I'm not going to bore you with video on how I changed them. Some of my videos prior to this, on not all the videos, but some where I show you how I take apart this the thing. I show how I replace these things with using the coil method, the little pigtails. So you can go back to one of those videos and take a look. I mean, it's going to be haphazard. I'll see if I can't locate those in short order, and I'll put links to those in the description. So let me get this done. We'll be right back. Okay, we're over halfway there to our goal. Getting these here. I got 3 more left. 1, 2, 3. This one down here on the SQ7 tube, number 21, it is underneath this second IF. See that thing there? It mounts right there like that. The little nub sticks through there, and you put your nut on it, and it holds it in place, and the adjustments are through those holes. So you have to take the nut loose and then slip it right off of that other screw, which holds it in place, keeps it from spinning. And you're going to have to get underneath here to get to this one. It mounts up on 2 different pins on the same tube. So you're going to have to take this loose anyway, because these here all have crusty wires on them. The red, the blue, the green, and the black are all rubber wires. They gotta go. So don't worry about cracking it or anything else like that. You're gonna have to replace it. There's just no question about it. You're gonna have to replace the wires. I've already got them done on the first IF, and the can is sitting on the back shelf waiting for its call. So now we're going to go ahead and take 22, 19, and 18 and regroup and determine what the heck of those are. So hang in there, we're getting there. It's a little after 9, about 9:15. So that only took about 45 minutes to get out between it and the bathroom break and all of that shit. So hang on, we'll be back. Alright everyone, welcome back to this segment. We managed getting this second IF rewired with new wires on it. Got it connected in where the appropriate spots. We took care of these unknowns here. We've got the first IF can back in and assembled. Back on. We got the band switch mounted back in along with the coil and trimmer assemblies. We still got to put in the tuner section and dial. Let me show you what we got on the top side. There we are with that. If you do the chrome thing like I did on this is chrome paint. What kind of chrome is that? It's a Rust-Oleum brand chrome thing. I do have some of the other chrome stuff, but it's an automotive duplicate color. It doesn't look as good as that. I mean, it does. There's certain things criteria you got to meet in order for this to come out looking like chrome. Although it won't be, I don't think, it won't be a reflective chrome. You can see that. I mean, that's reflective. And remember to use gloves. Give it a week to cure. This here has been sprayed, a long time ago. I didn't put any clearing on this either. And that's the reason why it's still pretty reflective. So handle it with gloves, or you're gonna mess it all up. So we got this all put back in. We've got some of this loose wires poking through that we got to get connected, and on the bottom side we got to get it tied back into the band switch. So we're nearing completion on this chassis. I still yet to tie in the stuff to this coil assembly and trimmers. It's going to go right on here like a dat right there. So you got to get all the other stuff done first. You got to get this coil and trimmer assembly in, and get the band switch mounted in, and get the wires fed back through, get them dressed as needed, and get ready to hook this all back up. Got to do all that before you put this sucker in there, or it's going to blow you out of the water. So it is about 1:30 in the afternoon. We've been out here most all day, taking care of getting the caps changed and the wiring changed where it needed to be, and getting everything mounted back up. As soon as we get all this tied together again and whatever, we're going to attempt to put this coil assembly back in it, and then get this tuner mounted back up on it. So that's still yet to be done. So give me another few hours and we'll be back. Alrighty then. Same day, different time. It's about 4:45 in the evening on Saturday. We've been chugging away on this thing consistently all day long since about 7 this morning, 7:30, somewhere around there. I still yet to get a sticker right here on the thing. As soon as I can locate one. I've got partial, but I don't have it all. Now I might have it in another form or on another record, but we'll have to check that out and see if I can get the rest of this label information. We got the IF can back in, and the speaker and the audio primary and the field coil in and connected in. The tuner is mounted up and everything else is mounted up. We got this side here. Let me scooch this back a little ways so that we can get some more light on it. Let me see if I can flip this up. There we go. There is everything back in. So yeah, it wasn't really that bad. I had to regain my my bearings because I hadn't touched this thing in about a week. But I did have the diagrams to go by, and you know me. Yeah. So, but we managed. So that's what we done with that. We got it back to just about a condition to where we can make a test on it, but it's not going to happen today, unfortunately. I still got to get the dial face on it, dial panel. Got this ready to go here. Got the restringing done on the thingy. Now, hang on, and I'm going to have a little bit of a something to show you on how I diagram some of these radio. Well, some of the radios, or all radios, as there's all the trapezoidal shit that came out of it right there. So hang in there. I'll be back with that, and then we'll wind this up. All right, everyone. How do I go about diagramming these three-dimensional illustrations on coils and switches and whatever I do whatever the radio may call for. If I do this if I'm going to pull it out, and generally what happens is I wind up having to pull coils and stuff out, especially IF cans, oscillator coils. This one here is an oscillator coil. If you remember, it is the coil that is mounted up in the corner of the chassis, where the rear switch was mounted on the back. And this goes in, and a lot of these wires connect into that band switch. What I generally do is I orient the real object so that I can look at it from an indexing point of view. In other words, I look at the features. There's 4 lugs on the top and probably about 1, 2, 3, 4 lugs on the bottom of it. And I key to an axis, if you will, so that when I go to put this thing back in, I'm oriented in the same way as I was looking at it when I was drawing it, so that way there is no question. This here is the trimmer array that was mounted on the back of this here and sticking out in the corner. Now what I do is, once I got that orientation, excuse me while I move this off to the side, I know it's out of frame. What I do, these here are just isometric ellipse templates. You can run them at any axis, that way, that way, that way, that way. You just spin them to what you need. If you need one on the right side, you would spin it to that axis and the tube would go back that way. Since I'm doing everything kind of isometrically in one plane, I make a faint line in there to get my axis on there. That's what I use to index these points with. And then I kind of guesstimate about what diameter circle or ellipse that I want to use. In this case, this is a 3/4, 11/16, 13/16, 5/8, 7/16, 3/8, all the way down to 1/8 of an inch. So I will pick one that I can use that will allow me to get everything in on the pad. And incidentally, these pads, when I make a test print on something, when I'm doing my AutoCAD stuff, I print out and I look at it, and what I do is I throw it on the side and accumulate until I get a pretty thick portion of it, and then I cut a standard 8.5 by 11 sheet right in half, and then I put some wood glue on the end of that, and it makes me up a bunch of scrap stuff that I can sketch on. So we'll use a 3/4 and come up here and we'll draw a circle, and then we'll come down here a little ways and we'll draw a half ellipse. I come up here and I go on the outside of that And this one here, I go on the outside of that. I know that's going to be a hidden line, so it was my goof. And then I go this over here. That gets me the tube for the coil. Now, in order to make these humpy little things right in here, I just go another size bigger. Let's see. 15, 16, 7/8, 1 inch. That should give me pretty much what I want to do. So we will come up here. We will go around right there. And then what I'll do is bring this 3/4 inch up in there. And that will be the inside of this thing, the inside of that bundle coil. Then I'll come down here ways. That'll give me the thickness. So what I'll do is I'll just make a bunch of lines inside of that one. And then I will make a bunch of lines inside of that one and just kind of fill in the blank areas. So that way and then I thicken these up, the outer ones. And then for the ones that are tight to the tube, I just use the same diameter. The same diameter tube as the and I'll go for whatever number of turns I can guess what's on the tube. And that will be the tight wrapped ones around the thing. These here will be the more, I don't know if you call them toroidal wrappings or coilings. But that's how I do that. And then in order to put I put a tab out like that, and a tab out like that, a tab out like this, and a tab out like that. I may or may not elect to go in here and take those things out. And then the same way it would be on the bottom. If I had one over here, one over here, one over here, and one over there, I would have those done. So that is how I do it. And then I got me an ellipse template. I got a circle template. I've got these templates you can buy at any bookstore, I think. Bookstore or office supply house that has the templates for engineering design and whatever your field of interest may be. They have some for electrical diagrams, transistors, resistors, and whatever. Anything that you need, if it has anything to do with engineering, you can buy it at a bookstore or, well, possibly a bookstore, or a office supply, a major office supply. Let me see. Oh, here we go. I forget how many's in here, but it has all these colors on there. Some you use and some you don't use. So, and if whatever it is, whatever color wire that you're dealing with, you draw it right in there. So, and so I got all the colors that I could possibly need for this to do all the drawings on it. I had been drawing some in and then notating and shorthand. What if it was red, I would put RD, and if it was green, I would put if it was green, it would be just regular pencil, and it would be GR. And then on the side, somewhere on the document, I would denote a color like that, and then I would put either 2-letter or 3-letter, so that way they would know what the hell I was talking about. So that pretty much covers everything that I wanted to let you know on. As far as the chassis point-to-point wiring diagrams, let me see if I got. I don't have one for that. For the chassis point-to-point wiring diagrams, you can see I use the colors, whatever they're supposed to be, whatever is going to be. I do this layout here generally from a tube location diagram that they give you with the that comes with some of the. Philco is a good one to use on that, but you have to take everything out of the picture that is non sequitur, as they say. And other than that, you can go in there if you have to make up a new diagram here and just go ahead and put your tube locations in, and do it from the bottom side, not from the top. Do it from the bottom side, and then put you some wings out here indicating the fold-up perimeters, so that you can locate where the ones that go on the side are located. And then here you can put your little antenna coils in here and another antenna coil on here. Now the ones that I make like this, I'll show. I'm trying to think of which one, the last one that I did. I will look down the tube on the inside or the outside and try to find where the wire ends for the coils go. Like this one here has a couple of coils on it, and it's pretty simplified. This here is oscillator coil, and it's a little bit more complex. But if I have to pull the coil off, once I get it in my hands and get it cleaned up, I'll break out the individual coils and show which lugs they are connected to, and give a reading. I'll take a reading of those lugs and see what that coil's registered ohms are, and note it on the document. And you can stuff that into your little history book, your archives, and and hold it in your folder, so that way if you ever do another one, you have information. You don't have to do it all over again. And these I keep. I don't send these with the documentation for the radio. I give them, if the schematic's been modified, I give them the modification, showing it, and make the changes right on the document and include it in the package for the radio. And any of the other standard illustrations and whatever that they would receive if they just went on their own and Googled it online and managed to get schematics and diagrams, string diagrams. I include a string diagram, a schematic, maybe an enlarged schematic, a component layout like the Philcos provide, and a couple of other things. All the individual tube information that comes, that the schematic shows, and it shows the tube pinouts and its design operating characteristics. So that is pretty much what I do. So I hope this gave you some insight. You don't have to do what I do. I do it because I want to make sure that, because this is all I do. I don't do anything else. Well, I sleep and I eat and I drink water and this and that, and I pee and take a crap once in a while. But this is what I do. So I want to make sure that I've got all my information that I could possibly need for each of these radios, in case we ever, like this 529s. I've done 7 or 8 of those already. The 529s are really notorious for bad volume controls and rubber wiring. So you need one of these if you're going to be doing a bunch of those for a bunch of people. I've had 4 people send me their 529s to redo. Some with the fiber optics in it, and some without. I've done, I think, 6 or 7 of those 529s that I did on my own and put out to eBay and sold those off. And there's been other radios on the side that others have asked me, could I do some work on it, bring it up to snuff, and I did. And I generally try to get those documented as much as possible. So, enough gab. I've talked your ear off and bored myself to death, as well as yourself. So I'm going to close up the shop for tonight. I'm going to grab me something to eat. It's 5:30 in the evening, and tomorrow hopefully we can get this thing into a position where we can make a fire up on the chassis and see if we're getting any response out of it. So thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for hanging in there. I hope I didn't make you go to sleep. So we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.